So guys, did you know that 20% of all roads take 80% of all of the traffic? Or that you actually spend 80% of your time in 20% of the rooms in your house? So these are just a couple of very simple examples of the Pareto principle in motion. You might have heard of it. It's the same principle or rule that illustrates how 20% of any corporation's employees make 80% of its results. Absolutely right. 80% of a company's sales volume comes from 20% of its sales force. And this is no different to your own brokerage, guys. Whether you have one right now or whether you're looking to start one right now. What I'm referring to here is known as the Pareto principle. And you might also know it maybe as the 80-20 rule. But what you might not know is actually responsible for everything that we have or that we don't have, right? That's absolutely right. It pretty much governs our entire life. And just like gravity, it is an unbreakable law. Simply put this way, if you applied this to your life right now, it's scary when you do, you'd basically get more from less. And you'd be able to make way more money without all of the effort that you currently go through to get that money. But only if you know what you're actually looking for. So, if you feel like you're one of those that are busy grinding away and you're basically making nothing in return, watch this video to the very end, because that's exactly what this video is all about. I'm going to go into the 80-20 rule and how you can actually apply it to everything that you do, but more specifically your brokerage. Folks, it's Gavin here once again with Pro Commerce Broker University, and I've basically got a really good one for you today. Almost everyone has heard of the 80-20 rule. It's all out there, right? But do we really understand what it actually means? Everything we do is subject to this rule, and it can be a little scary when we actually dig into this, because it simply states that 20% of the desired results we want will be dictated by 80% of the action required, and that 80% of our time is spent on 20% of the results. For the past 125 years, this rule has been unbreakable ever since it was observed by an Italian economist. Now, excuse me while I try and say this name, guys. I'm never great at this. Vilfredo Federico Damaso Pareto. It's Pareto's law, basically. And it's basically come to define practically every potential business outcome. And it's become the basis for measurement across a wide variety of varying platforms in life. But the most popular has always been business performance, because it just works really well. So to put it the simplest of terms, the Pareto principle is well known in business as a principle that states 80% of a company's revenue typically comes from 20% of its customers or its products. Think brokerage. And it's the same principle, as I say, that can be applied to any loan brokerage business. And it can help you make a more consistent income by streamlining your efforts and helping you focus on the activities that actually produce the most results. This, guys, is not what they teach in all of those different programs out there. And if you don't think that this is true, just take a look at the loan broker market right now and how many are trying to be all things to all people and making little to nothing in return. Or even those that may be making something in return, but they're making a small amount. And if they honestly actually looked at their revenue sources, I'd actually bet my right foot, right, it could be broken down to 80% of their revenue coming from 20% of the products that they offer. Think about that in terms of efficiency, because most programs out there just basically teach people to be generalists, and generalists in business never win. Specialists do, guys. And this is the entire reason we advise in our program to be a niche specialist, because the 80-20 rule governs literally everything. Anyway, let's get back into this, because I really want to dig in. As I mentioned earlier, by redirecting your focus and applying this 80-20 rule to your life, you're actually going to be able to maximize your profits really easily and make more money with way less effort. So how do we do this stuff? Well, you can actually accomplish this by following a very simple 3-step process, and that's what I'm going to go into right now. So, number 1 is basically your 80-20 destination. Where do you want to be? The second is your 80-20 route. What's the easiest path to get to your desired destination? And then the 80-20 actions, which is what are your steps to do that? So let's take a deeper dive into each of these steps and basically see how we can apply them to our life and also to our brokerage starting today. First, what is your 80-20 destination? Where do you actually want to go, or where do you want to end up? This is perhaps the most important step, because it's here that we're actually setting our course, or we're calibrating our compass and preparing for the journey ahead. You must be clear with yourself on this as to what exactly it is you want in your life. What is your own idea of what success actually look like? Is it about time freedom, or being able to work when and where that you want? That's a common one, right? Is it about being able to escape the 9-to-5 grind? Another common one. Is it financial freedom? Is it about making 5-10k plus from home as a loan broker and really just having enough cash on hand to live comfortably without worrying about bills or having any stress, right? Is it about making a difference in the world, a noble cause, using your talents and skills to make a positive impact on those around you? No matter what it is, your destination is really important. And one thing's for sure, and actually true, without a compass, guys, or a map or a GPS to help guide us to where we want to be, we simply cannot arrive at our desired destination. And this is why so many fail. So you've got to decide with crystal clear accuracy, what do you want out of life, and set your sights on accepting nothing less than that. So the next point is, what's your 80-20 route? So we want to create a very simple step-by-step plan to create a consistent revenue stream for your brokerage without having to pay for marketing. Now, again, this is not what the programs teach you. As a loan broker working in the investment real estate markets, your 80-20 route is your existing audience. The easiest and most effective way to generate consistent revenue without having to shell out thousands of dollars on marketing, buying leads, advertising, is basically to follow what we call the 12 in 12 strategy. Now, if you wait until the end of this video, you'll see another video that will pop up where I actually dig into that strategy in detail. So let's get back to this. We want to identify your core offering. What are you offering that 20% of your audience is actively seeking on an ongoing basis? Next one, present your offer as a premium high value service that they must have and they will use time and time again. Now take this very seriously, guys. Don't just do what everyone else is doing. Look at what they're doing. Do the opposite. You become lost in the sea of voices all doing and saying the same thing if you don't. So whether you are brand new at this and you're just starting out in this business, or you've even been it for a little while, right? You can actually learn and start applying this very strategy today without having to spend so much as $1 single on any marketing or advertising at all. And if you are actually diligent in your efforts, right, and you're persistent in your follow-up, you're going to be well on your way to maximizing the 80-20 rule and actually building a foundation for sustainable 6-figure income, which actually brings me into the third step in the 80-20 process. What is your 80-20 action? So when it comes to creating a successful brokerage, it's really important that we actually focus on the big wins rather than sweating all of the small stuff that a lot tend to do. So by taking action on the things that will actually have the biggest impact in the business, we're actually able to create a sustainable income stream in a very short period of time. And this again is what we teach in our program. We make this loan brokering thing really simple so that you can't not focus on the simple things that are actually going to have the biggest impact to your revenue. And while it's important to be diligent and put in the work, don't get bogged down in the details. They don't matter. Remember, you can always fine tune and tweak as you go along as you learn. The most important thing then is to take action and just get started. Again, something we simplify in our training program, because if we are to use the 80-20 rule, 80% of those starting don't get anywhere because they don't ultimately take any action. So to close this video off, what's the big deal with the 80-20 rule? Well, to put it simply, nothing at all. It's just a very simple way of thinking that allows us to focus only on what is important, to cut out all of the noise that's out there, to not get distracted by all of these different shiny objects and new hacks and new tricks that are often promoted by the latest guru. The 80-20 rule basically keeps us focused on what's pushing our needle and what's moving us in the direction that we want to go. Now, I'm not saying there won't be any pitfalls along the way, guys. It's not a sort of magic bullet. There's always going to be pitfalls, but we want to use those to learn. In fact, if we actually accept that there's going to be these pitfalls and mistakes, it's actually the route to a winning mentality. So really, just be careful not to lose sight of your destination, guys, and actually what it's going to take you to get there. So you always want to be careful and mindful of your actions, the ones that actually matter the most and move your needle. And if you follow this 80-20 strategy, guys, you're going to be well on your way to creating a consistent online income as a business loan broker. And honestly, it really is that simple. So with all of that said, if you want to learn more about this profession and more about this particular strategy and others that we teach you, the 12 on 12, remember there's a video popping up at the very end of this one. You may actually be seeing it right now, right above where my finger is pointing. And you want to learn more about how we can train you in our private member community, where we actually offer you one-on-one mentoring, training and support daily if that's required. The support that we give is essentially what is it you need to get you where you want to be. The guys and girls that are actually doing that support are basically paid upon their ability to get you where you want to be. So if they aren't successful in doing that, you're not successful. It's a very unique way that we approach this, and if you book a call, you'll find a link in the description or the comment section. We'll run you through exactly how this stuff actually works, and we'll really actually understand whether you're a good fit for us too, because it is a team effort that we go through, and that's really why we have a high level of success. And if you want to check out testimonials and videos, we've got those on our channel too, and there's a couple of new ones that we put up for guys that are achieving success so far this year, and there's more to come in the coming weeks. So with all of that said, guys, I hope this has helped you. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.